The universe we live in is boring. Look at this mime. What's so special about him? He's boring. And look at this clam. It could never be as cool as something like a holy text, because it's boring. Goddamn. That's an interesting universe right there. I would love to live there. Let's see. What is my name in this universe? Big Cheese? I can live with that, honestly. This is Pokemon Alte Red, a hack of Fire Red where every single Pokemon has been type swapped and given a new name, moveset, ability, design, and encounter location. It's also got Pokemon all the way up to Gen 8. I wanted to test my type detecting ability, so I decided to Nuzlocke this hack completely blind. I will not be looking up a single thing about this game the entire run. We step out of our house into the grass, and an old man comes to stop our ass. He asks us what starter we want, we check our options. Turtwig, Cyndaquil, and... of course. Piplup. I grab Turtwig and our rival Milk grabs Cyndaquil. We have a little tussle, grab the parcel, and get our balls. We quickly catch ourselves a nice amount of encounters. Pizza Pie the Snowdodile on Route 1, Dogmeat the Poochiever on Route 22, and Bill Hader the Golby on Route 2. Sadly, our Viridian Forest encounter, Gargan the Stingar, kills Dogmeat. But we still manage to catch it before making it to Peter City. I try to enter the gym, but there ends up being a small grotto I've got to make my way through first. Grabbing Sisyphus the Boulder Pea while I'm in there. Some old guy tells me he's been lost in the cave for 70 years and punches me in the face, so I've got to return to the Pokemon Center. That's when I noticed this doorway. Curious as to where it leads, I stepped in, run around in circles, and encountered a... substitute? My best guess is this room is meant for XP grinding, which I do, Sisyphus eventually evolving into Petrapod. Suddenly, a shiny substitute appears. Do not freak out. You'll see a lot of shinies in this playthrough. Even the rival fight had one. I guess they upped the rate because I saw a whole lot of them. Because of that, shinies won't count as free encounters. I can only get it if it's my first encounter in the area, and since this wasn't the first substitute I saw, I'm not allowed to use it. I instantly throw a ball at it and gets caught on the first try. I put it on my team and it easily solos Brock. Nah, I'm just kidding. It went straight into the box and we took our real squad into the fight. Brock leads with Isakune and we lead with Turtwig, but instantly switch into Sisyphus. The Isakune decides to protect while we switch and then mean look the turn after, allowing us to take it down without receiving much damage. Carboink is next and our Rock Throw does almost nothing and it quickly reveals its secondary type to be fighting, so we switch back into Turtwig, who crits it with a Mega Drain, one-shotting it. His third mon is in Sanko, who's pretty clearly fire type, but unsure of who could take a hit on the switch. I leave Turtwig in, and he dies in one hit. You thought? Turtwig is a Chad. He wouldn't die to something as simple as a flaming pine cone. He Mega Drains the soul straight out of Insanko and Brock sends out his ace, Carbolt, who just ends up being Turtwig's dessert. We get our first badge and step out of the gym, appearing in... Fuck. Wait, no, I'm not doing that this time. We exit the gym and actually appear at the entrance to the gym. Feels unnatural after my last two videos. We head to Route 3 and get covered in some kind of white substance. Not sure what it is. Soot, snow, powdered milk, On our way to Mount Moon, we grab Granite the Fandicite,
Yummers,
the Chilicarp, and Dawn the Fomal before entering the cave and running into my favorite Pokemon in this hack, Scripture. They straight up just turned Shelter into a holy text. They took the pre-evolution to everyone's favorite Onyx partner and turned it into the fucking Bible. I sadly have to kill it since it's the trainer's Pokemon and run into my actual encounter for the area, FNAF Ruin the Rubble Dump. On our way through the mountain, Pizza Pie evolves into Crocodile and Turtwig evolves into Rootortle. A very strange way to spell Grottle, if you ask me. They help us easily wipe out Team Rocket, and we eventually run into the average Gen 3 fan who sends out all of the Hoenn starters. We beat his ass and grab the Dome Fossil. Arriving at Cerulean, we quickly realize it's been flooded, but instead of trying to help the drowning civilians, we head the Nugget Bridge and wipe the floor with milk. On our way over the bridge, we watch as the sheeple finally wake up and sadly lose Yummers to the rocket grunt at the end. I forgot to hit record for a couple minutes here, so I'm just going to recreate everything that happens in Paint. On Route 24, we grab a shiny Do It for the Vinub, and on Route 25, we grab Piss Ass the Zigzagrub. We're given the SSN ticket by Bill and head into Misty's gym, sadly losing Piss Ass to a Chansey using Mirror Coat, which I just want to point out makes no sense to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I swear Mirror Coat only does double what you did back. How did my 4 damage turn into 24? Sisyphus manages to evolve into Primordium and we challenge Misty, but she gets completely swept by Turtwig because for some reason her level 25 ace is a baby. Like, seriously, who would bring a baby to a fight? That'd be so stupid. You'd have to be kind of brain dead to bring a baby to a fight. We get our second badge and exit the gym. On our way to the next town, we pick up Mohawk the Bushru on Route 5, Growlithe the Kind Like on Route 6, Underminer the Drill Duo on Route 11, and Arlert the Spikeoon in Digger's Cave, before I accidentally jump over a ledge. After a grueling hike back through Mount Moon, we board the SSN and get challenged by Milk again. He leads with Iolith while I lead with Underminer. Fun fact, this dog is electric type. I never figured that out. The entire run, I think this dog is dark grass type because it's green, and I saw it use a dark type move twice. I switch out of my ground type into Pizza Pie, who gets one Ice Fang off before he switches into Quilava. Luckily, he gets frozen, so I got a clean switch into Dawn, who knocks it, Horseed, and the Iolith out. His final mon is Excavaviper, and I switch into Underminer, who is quickly killed, but Sisyphus comes out and gets revenge, ending the battle. I add FNAF Ruin to the team, and he manages to evolve into Sedimentang before the gym. We solve the top-tier gym puzzle, after like 8 attempts, and get to challenge Lieutenant Surge. He leads with Elix, and I lead with Ruin. It outspeeds with Aqua Jet, but he tanks it and one-shots the eel back with a Sand Tomb. Tillaroth is out next. We switch into Growlithe, who nearly one-shots it before we need to send out Pizza Pie. Surge withdraws the Sloth and whips out Blitzeus. Sisyphus easily wipes out both it and the following Linode before Pizza Pie comes in to wipe out the Fear Ult, and Growlithe is sent out to finish the Sloth, gaining us our 3rd badge. We listen to some guy tell us how much he loves horses, but like a little bit too much about how much he loves them. He accidentally reveals some information he didn't want to get out, so he bribes us to stay quiet with a bike voucher. On our way to Lavender Town, we stop by Cerulean and grab our free bike before catching Charon the Volstix on Route 9, Sun Tzu the Furlazu on Route 10, and Django the Pharos in Rock Tunnel, which quickly evolves into Omniscience. Sadly, as we make our way through the tunnel, we experience a very unfortunate set of events. Turtwig is brought down to 1 health, but I think it's fine. I simply won't use him in battle. But then I run into a trainer who's secretly a double battle. Turtwig is forced out and I attempt to switch before finding out the Uzi has Shadow Tag. Turtwig is taken out and Dawn barely holds on long enough to take down the Uzi and switch into Django to finish the fight. We arrive in Lavender Town and lay our starter to rest. We can't do much in Lavender yet, so we head on over to Celadon. Mohawk evolves into Bushlash on the way, and Sun Tzu sadly gets trapped in a battle from a Sand Tomb, dying before it can escape. We luckily get to pick up a few new encounters to make up for our recent losses. Being Corporal the Nudod on Route 8, Angeles the Smoglu on Route 7, and 049 the Medical in this creepy rundown Pokemon Center we found on Route 7. I stumble my way into the basement of the clinic and find what looks like a Deoxys puzzle, but I'm too stupid, and after a few attempts I'm unable to solve it, so I just decide to leave. The second I arrived in Celadon, I know exactly what I'm doing. I beeline it for the department store and buy every evolution stone they sell. I grab all the Pokemon I've caught so far and throw rocks at them, Growlithe evolving into Manectry thanks to the Leaf Stone. Before heading into the gym, we grab Who the Fuck the Cassinda in Celadon City, Eugene the Mandawhirl on Route 16, and break into some dude's penthouse to steal Bryson Man the Violu, the only Altermon I knew about before playing this game myself. We challenge Erika, and she ends up being a double battle, leading with Ma Venus and Harryamon. We counter with Bryson Man and Sisyphus. Bryson Man one-shots the Fly Trap, and she sends out Latticire. Sisyphus gets hit with a crit, forcing us to switch into Growlithe. Latticire tanks a Sludge from Bryson Man, and he's hit by a massive Drain Punch and then a Mud Shot, taking him out. Pizza Pie comes in for revenge, and the duo easily wipes out the rest of our team, winning us our 4th badge. I replace our fallen Bryson Man with 049, and he quickly evolves into Metaclops. We also find a new section of Digger's Cave that leads to the Mushroom Bog, where we catch Ophiocordy the Doomloom. Man, I think I took too many of those shrooms back there, because that there's a fucking Goomba in my Pokemon game. I find a casino and invest all my money before running into a rocket grunt staring at a poster. We take her down, find a secret button, and access the underground base. We make our way through the hideout and find Giovanni. His guards try to stop us, and we sadly underestimate them, the second one managing to take out Growlithe. Mohawk rejoins the team, and we throw Sisyphus at Giovanni in revenge. Cabela is his first mon, and Sisyphus isn't able to take it down, so 049 has to come in to finish it off. Excavaviper is next, and Pizza Pie two-shots it, but not before being brought down to nearly red. He sends out Drill Drio, and I respond with Mohawk, who loses over half of his health on the switch to a non-super effective move. Afraid of the power this metal bird wields, I sack Mohawk for a clean switch, and Dawn comes out to two-shot it. His final mon is whatever the fuck this thing is. It nearly kills Dawn, but Django comes in to finish the battle, and we're given the Silph Scope in return. We enter Lavender Tower, and Milk screams at us about how he keeps having to cheat in his Nuzlocke because we've been killing his entire team. So we respond by killing his entire team, but not before losing Pizza Pie, 049, and Do It For to his Snorlax. Milk runs off crying while we lay our 3 dead mons to rest. We add Ophiocordy, Corporal, and Charon to the team, the last 2 evolving into Nuzcrack and Sinistales respectively, along with Dawn into Geyserupt. We enter Lavender Tower, beat up some creepy ghost ladies, and find our encounter. Ooh, the Ugnaught. Eventually reaching the top of the tower, we encounter a bunch of rocket grunts. Most of them are easy, but sadly, one of them does manage to take out Sisyphus, and we re-add FNAF Ruin to the team to replace him. We save some old guy, and he babbles on about how we remind him of the good old days and hands us a flute. We head to Route 12 and catch Buggy the Yarble before encountering a Snorlax on the street. I search my bag looking for something to move him. I find the flute the old dude gave me and hit the Snorlax in the head with it until he wakes up. He beats the ever-living fuck out of my team and I run away before anyone dies, catching Carrot the Farvested while I hide in Route 13. Afraid of getting caught by the Snorlax, I decide to take the cycling road to Fuchsia instead, catching Weary the Pylo on Route 17 along with Galahad the Sneesquire on Route 18. We eventually reach Fuchsia and try to grab a Pokemon on the adjacent Route 15. A trainer spots me and says, "What the fuck? That's a big number. That's a much bigger number than the number I have." I somehow beat them without a single loss and grab Goomba the Paragoomer. Before heading into the Safari Zone, Corporal evolves into Shelkatry and Weary evolves into Pyrokinome. We pay the entry fee, catch ourselves E-Girl the IV, find some teeth on the ground, make out with them a little bit, get the HM for Surf, and leave. I check out all the stones in my bag and notice the Moonstone works, so I repeatedly throw moon rocks at this dog's head until he becomes a Steel-type Luxurion. Preparing for the Ninja, FNAF Ruin also evolves into Terragross. We step into the gym, slam our skull into a bunch of invisible walls, and challenge Koga. He leads with Metaclops, and we respond with Ruin. The doctor gets taken down by a couple rock slides, but manages to get a Toxic off first, forcing me to switch into Django when the duck comes out. We get off a 1, 2, Django before wiping the duck out. Sadly, our mushroom Djangos himself a little too hard and gets taken out by the following Glimpale. Weary gets revenge, and Corporal is sent out to deal with the Nefario and Miasmeria. His final mon is Tentabrawl, and Weary is back to finish it off, winning us our 5th badge. We add Eugene to the team and give him a Waterstone. He evolves into Spiritoad, which sadly loses the bug type and becomes pure Ghost, which defeats the entire reason I put him on my team in the first place. I put our dead frog back in the box and replace him with Carrot, which quickly evolves into Survested. We head to Saffron and throw the teeth we found earlier at the guard. Entering a dojo, we easily defeat every student and the master. He offers us a choice between 2 mons, Kung Fudo and Mr. Crime. I, of course, choose Mr. Crime and give him an incredibly original and awesome nickname, Mr. Crime, with proper capitalization, because poor writing is a worse crime than murder. We hear that Jeff Bezos is in town and head to Silph Co. We fight our way through the building, sadly losing Corporal to a double battle. Another death from fucking Shadow Tag. We add Bill Hader to the team and he evolves into Bee King. We find Milk and realize he's gone full Joker arc before he challenges us to a battle. Most of our team is about 10 levels above him, so we wipe him pretty easily. But sadly, his Judo Wudo hits a counter on Ruin, killing our tank. His final mon is a... I'm not seeing this right. There's clearly something I might have to wipe off my screen. Nope, that's there. That's a fucking chair. I have no fucking clue what this is an altar of. It's just a chair with teeth. Ah, of course. How could I forget the original chair Pokemon? It's an altar of Pharaoh Seed. We add Arlert to the team and he evolves into Dusharp. Before we can reach Bezos, we're given a chair pick like Milk had, naming it Chair. We find Jeff and he's being held hostage by Giovanni. We nearly lose Weary, but Carrot comes in to sweep most of his team. Bezos gives us 3 cents, a half-used piss bottle, and almost pats us on the back before realizing we could infect him with our poorness. He promptly kicks us out of the building and we head to challenge Sabrina. I walk up to the Psychic, terrified. I'm thinking I could easily lose the Nuzlocke here. The battle begins. It's a fucking double battle. I send out Chair and Ophiocordy. Oh shit, that was so easy. How is Sabrina the easiest leader? You know what? I'm not complaining. I'll take it. We fly to Pallet Town and head south, catching Whirlwind the Metadraft on Route 21, Reassurance the Downpoura in the waters around Cinnabar, and Cortana the Shocking in Cinnabar Mansion. We find some scientists and hand them the fossil I found in Mount Moon. He hands me back Tectonia and we name it Pangea Jr. I attempt to enter the gym, but the door is locked, so I grab the bucket I caught earlier and smash it through the window. We find Blaine, and once again beat the leader with only 2 Pokemon. You know what? It's not as surprising for Blaine though. This is just classic Blaine. As we exit the gym, we find Bill, who's clearly taking some notes from the YouTube algorithm. Bro saw I took a boat 1 time, and now he thinks my entire personality is boats. I feel bad saying no, so I accept his request to take a boat with him to one island. The second we arrive, he ditches me for a friend of his, so I wander off the Kindle Road and catch Poseidon the Ponytide. Eventually reaching Mount Ember, I catch C4 the Insenko before climbing to the top and finding Tie-Dye the Regihue. I sail to Island and catch Jewel the Heritopus. We walk into some dude's house and he tells me he doesn't have any money or a very particular set of skills, so we decide to save his daughter who'd been taken for him. We head to 3 Island, catching Apollo the Sol Nova at the port, Paul the Latticire at Bond Bridge, and Roach the Smoach in Berry Forest. Eventually finding the girl and saving her from hypnoplasm. I head back to one island and steal Bill's boat, grabbing Del Monte the pop-up in the Seafoam Islands before hearing news that the Viridian Gym has finally opened up, so I head there. I enter the gym and find Giovanni? He tells me Bezos sued him into oblivion after I beat his ass in Silph Co, so he's had to get a minimum wage job as a gym leader. For the 3rd time in a row, I wipe the entire gym with only 2 Oh fuck. Well, that sucks. I really liked Carrot. We wipe them with 3 members and gain our final badge. Roach joins the team and evolves into Kiss Cash before we get challenged by Milk. He screams the word society at me several times before throwing a Pokeball at my face. His team has honestly gotten easier, so we quickly destroy him. But he did have this cool missing no that I took down in one shot using Chair's new move, Super Glitch. We passed the badge checks, grabbing Tentomushi the Zen Choke on the way. Eventually reaching Victory Road, we instantly grabbed Dragonborn the Bladeoack before quickly finding out that the difficulty curve of this game goes from 0 to 100 real fast. Maybe it's just my lack of skills, but the trainers in here were awful. We lost Chair, Weary, and Bill Hader to just random fucking dudes. We have to make some last minute adjustments to our team thanks to that horrible cave, and Cortana evolves into Frightening. We've made it. The Pokemon League. Stepping into the first chamber, we meet Lorelei. She ends up being a double battle, leading with Torkold and Kelvapass. I send out Pangea Jr. and Jewel gets dragged along with them. We take down the big-nosed freak, but when the Steel-type Cool Catty comes out, I have to switch Jewel for Dawn, completely forgetting the fact Dawn has Drizzle, which weakens Pangea Jr.'s eruption. Luckily, it still takes out the Torkold and brings the Cool Catty all the way into the red. Freezalb is next, and I switch Dawn for Dragonborn. Lorelei full restores the cat, and it gets a crit on Pangea Jr., taking down our Fossil. Cortana is sent out, and we take down both opponents. Her final 2 mons are Glacier and Mistmagius. I switch Cortana for Orpheocordy, and Dragonborn nearly takes down the Glacier, but it's one shot in return. Orpheocordy tanks a massive blizzard in the red, one-shotting the Mistmagius back, but sadly she takes out our Mushroom Ghost before I can switch out. Lorelei attempts to heal, but Cortana one-shots it with Thunder, ending our first Elite Four battle with 3 deaths. We heal up and step into the next chamber to face Bruno. Jewel one-shots his Swashbull before Sneaselot comes out, and it took me about 3.4 seconds before I realized, came to terms with, and accepted the fact that this was the end of my run. If you haven't figured out my dilemma yet, let me fill you in. Sneaselot is a Steel fighting type. My 3 remaining mons are Psychic Fairy, Dark Electric, and Water Normal. If you look at the types Steel and Fighting are super effective against, you'll easily be able to tell why I'm completely and utterly fucked. Jewel gets crit and one-shot. Dawn gets hit by a massive high jump kick, and Cortana tanks a kick but can only do half back with the Thunder, dying the next turn. Well, I lost, and a fucking Bruno of all people. I was debating whether I should just reset or go with the run I had, and ultimately, I decided to stick with this run. I enjoyed playing it blind, and I didn't think it would be the same doing it again with all my new knowledge. Sucks I didn't get to see the champion, but nothing bad could come of that, right? Thanks for making it this far. This is my first Nuzlocke video that isn't a very original idea, so I'd love to hear how you guys thought about it in the comments. If you have any other ROM hacks you'd like to see me Nuzlocke, then let me know down below as well. Steal that subscribe button if you'd like to know when I upload next, and join my Discord if you want to be part of the community. The next video I upload will probably be my 5,000 subscriber community egglock, assuming we hit that, of course. At the time of writing this, I have 4,864. Oh, you want to know how to enter the egglock? What would be the fun in telling you that? But I will tell you, I've already got about 5 boxes of eggs before even once mentioning the idea to anyone. Check out the video on the left if you want to see more Nuzlocke content from me. Watch the video on the right if you want to see a friend of mine quiz me and 2 other buddies on a bunch of obscure Pokemon facts.